Welcome back as we continue right here on the Bordas and Bordas hotline of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're here until 11 o'clock at 412-575-2600. Bob Pompeani, Ron Cook. We're going to go right to the lines because people want to talk about it. Marilyn in Munhall is first tonight. Hey, Marilyn, how are you?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Yes.
This
Anytime.
afternoon I heard a term that I hadn't heard before. It was a hockey player who was traded to another team, and then the second team flipped him to
Columbus. That's
third
Ian
team.
Cole. Yeah. You're talking
Now,
about Cole?
why would you just not do a straight-out trade instead of doing the flip aspect?
Well, sometimes you have to get another team involved to help with salary cap implications. Sometimes you have to do it just to come up with a player who can help you to give the other team what they really want that you may not have. It's complicated. And I think we saw that, Ron. Thanks, Marilyn, on Friday night.
On again, off again, on again trade. No, I mean, there was no doubt Ian Cole wasn't going to stay in Seattle and with the Senators. They're rebuilding. Cole was going to be a free agent at the end of the year. It was just a matter of finding where to send him. I don't think he ever left Pittsburgh, did he, Bob? I think he stayed here.
Yeah. They told him to stay here.
They said, you're going to be going somewhere. We don't know where. It turned out to be Columbus. Good move for Columbus. Good move for Cole. I think they only play one more time, Pittsburgh and Columbus, April 5th in Columbus. So Cole won't come back here until the playoffs, should it get to that. What a story that'll be if he plays against the Penguins in the playoffs.
Yeah, listen, we only have like 19 games left, so who knows at this point. But, and there's just 2 points separating first through third now as Philly jumps into first, Washington second, Pittsburgh third, but Pittsburgh could re-jump tomorrow with a win against the Devils, who are breathing down their neck, Ron. But it would be potentially Pittsburgh-Washington first round. It could be Pittsburgh-Philadelphia first round.
Any of them.
Any of them. And I think it'd be interesting to get that in the first round matchup, whereas 2 of the wild card teams are going to both come from this division as well. So 5 of the teams are going to be represented in the Metro.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. I think it's a wide-open playoff, Bob. I like the Penguins' chances. I like bringing in Brassard. I do worry about the defense being good enough, tough enough, deep enough. I hate taking Ian Cole out of the room. Very popular player, very productive player. But to get something, you have to give up something. And Cole ended up being that guy. I just hope nobody gets hurt. And almost always, if you go as far as the Penguins hope to win 16 games, I think you need at least 8 defensemen. And for me, they only have 7, counting Ruedel.
I would say even 9 if you're going to go the distance. I mean, blocking
I said at least
shots,
8.
You have shots. Look at what Cole did last year. Look at all those guys. Broken ankles. I mean, who was it? Brian Dumoulin, who played all the way through. Was it with a broken hand or something? And
right.
You don't find this out until afterwards. It takes a lot of guts.
Well, at least this year, though, they have Chris Letang. Last year they didn't, and I'll say this forever. As long as I live, I'll say I can't believe they won the Cup in 2017 without Chris Letang.
John in Banksville, you're up. John, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
A couple of comments and then a quick question. First, I want to say it was great to see Mr. Cook on the Sunday show last night. Several times I thought to myself, I wish Cook was on this show.
Nah, he's a busy
there
man.
you were.
Bob never invites me, but I appreciate that. Go ahead,
well,
sir.
You got to invite him more, Bob.
I invite. He's a busy man. Don't you understand what I'm saying, John?
I guess so. Some quick comments. Tampa Bay now scares the heck out of me. They've really strengthened themselves. I also agree that I was really disappointed they didn't make a deal for some sort of defenseman. That's going to be the nemesis if there is one for them, I think. They're going to, I think, have to win games 6-5 and 7-6, and they got to strengthen up some way. But my favorite move of the day, defenseman or no defenseman, is signing Hornquist and getting that done. Hornquist is my favorite Penguin. Love Crosby, love Malkin, but I really love Hornquist, and I was ecstatic to see that. Now, the 2 quick questions.
No, we got to go. Thanks, John.
He does something that nobody else in the team does. That physical presence in front of the numbers I have in my column tomorrow are unbelievable when he's on the power play versus when he isn't on the power play. A key guy, again, 5 years for a 31-year-old is a lot, but if he helps him win another cup, how do you say it's not worth it?
Yeah, conventional wisdom, Ron, will tell you that when hockey players get into their mid-30s that you're not going to see the same production. Now, I will counter that because I think Anaheim's had a pretty good run with their guys who are in their 30s with Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf. those guys, have been around and have still operated at a very high level of play. I think this group will, if you're talking about a window, I think it's not open now, but it is open now, but it's going to be open for, I would think, at least 3 more years, because Kessel has 4 years left. Malkin and
all the top 4 forwards.
Everybody who's here is here.
Murray signed for a couple more years, but he's going to only be a restricted free agent. They got the core of this team together for quite a while.
Yeah, they do. So it's very optimistic. If you like to see a potential dynasty, you may be watching one. Noah in Center Township. Hey, Noah, how you doing?
How you doing tonight, Bob?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I have a couple things to say.
Okay.
With the Penguins' moves on offense, I think it's very good because they're going to go up teams that score a lot of goals, and we have potentially 3 Hall of Famers on the ice already, and you got to put pucks in the net to win the games. I mean, it's all about defense. I think they're paper thin there, but they've shown the ability they could just outplay teams at any given moment. And about the Pirates, do you think they should go after an Arrieta or a Cobb?
I mean, I would go after everybody I can get my hands still out there. I'm surprised Jake Arrieta is still out there, to be honest with you. But, you said paper thin on defense. I don't think that's the case. I think they're very good at what they have. It's just the depth.
I think they're thin, though, Bob. Well, only 7 is not enough.
That's not what he said, though.
Paper thin, I know, but that is the possible weakness.
I understand that, and I agree, but that's not paper thin. Paper thin would suggest you have nobody in your top 6 or your top 3. You do. You have very good players representing your top 4, in my opinion.
You don't have a physical guy.
I understand. Well,
other than Alexiak.
Be that guy.
I mean, that was Cole that would block shots, would hit
people. I agree. I'm
great
better
on the
with
penalty
them.
Kill. I'm not a Hunwick fan compared to Cole.
Neither am I.
They seem to really like him. I liked Ruido last year. I thought he did a nice job, but he hasn't played since like Christmas. I think you'll see him in there now.
I would say beware of the thought that you can just simply outscore people. I get it, but we thought the same thing
playoffs,
of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were paper thin on defense in many areas, found out that can kill you, because you can still put up a lot of points and the Penguins can score a lot of goals. I don't have that fear with them. I think their top 4 is pretty good, and I think if they stay healthy, 6 is okay. Hunwick is, to me, not what Cole was, but hey,
to get something, you got to give up something.
You can't give up everybody on your team. You still want to have the same core intact. We got to take a break. Gene and FAOB coming up next right here on the Sports Call.